That's lit sometimes.
No,
Pull up.
my job is not boring because I will never complain that a job is boring when I sit at home and can be in my underwear in a crop top all day. It's not
Oh,
boring. I just don't have I just don't have like my groove yet, my work groove. And like I just am not in my work groove yet. So it's not boring at all. Like I like it, but I'm just saying that work groove, and it's a lot of meetings. I had 6 meetings today.
ooh.
6. I was like, what are we even talking about? Oh my God. And
And what
then
were
and
y'all
then
These
talking
like onboarding.
no, I'm past the
Mhm.
onboarding stage. Like either they're not gonna onboard me or I haven't done everything. So I don't know what's going on with onboarding. But like one got canceled. I was like, okay, good. Then 2 got added to my calendar. I was like, what the freak? So yeah, it's okay. I don't have any meetings tomorrow though. So we good, we good, we good. Um, are you in Chick-fil-A, DeMarcus? Indian?
Some southern food from a place called Jackie's Place.
about?
My company had it catered yesterday for
For
Juneteenth.
You
Well, not
Juneteenth,
yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
I'm writing a letter.
Hmm
I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
writing.
So you got watermelon and fried chicken for Juneteenth?
Mm,
No watermelon this
there were
time.
chicken wings, but I don't think they were fried. I think they were like roasted or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fried fish though.
Fried
And then
Yeah.
hard.
it was fried hard yesterday. You know, it's reheated.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Did they have hot sauce or
But
tartar
yeah,
sauce with it?
what they neither.
Mm.
They had we had some ribs, had some pork
Mm.
loin, macaroni
Mm.
and cheese, collard greens, cornbread,
Mm.
sweet potato
Mm.
pie, peach cobbler. You know, the
Mm.
southern dishes, the dishes that they think us black geeks will appreciate,
So
and I do.
so today or this weekend you ended your sobriety.
I did.
And how was that?
It was fun.
So you
I had a
can
grand old
drink,
time.
so you can drink and smoke, and you couldn't do that before.
Hmm
And
Yes,
California.
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. The goal is to do it all with much more moderation. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ain't got to smoke every day. You ain't got to drink every day. Not that I was, but approaching. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So why did you go about that change? Like did you just feel that you were starting to go overboard with it, or what brought on that change?
Well, um, I wanted some time to like, and when I say time, I mean more like maybe I should say space. I wanted more like head space to like, you know, get back in tune with myself to refigure out my mind and remember what it was like to be sober. And this is all coming out of like, you know, like last year, was it around this time? Yeah, last year around this time, my relation I got out of a relationship. And it was a bit of a rough one. You know what I'm saying? Not a rough breakup, it's just like a rough relationship in general. And so after that, I just kind of like threw myself into self-medicating, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
You know,
Mushrooms.
spent the not necessarily, but not necessarily. Um, so you know,
Started to,
I
yeah.
experiment with a few different medications.
Mhm. Different
Crack.
vices that you had
So
done
you know,
before. Nah.
I spent like the remainder of the year doing that. So it was like 6 months of like going out, having a good time. I stopped dating though. I was like, I ain't talking to no women. I'm done with that.
So you were just seeing a
So
whole bunch of crack.
Sir,
no, no, sir.
crack is cheap.
No, sir.
Oh, Coke. Sorry,
All right,
sorry,
Whitney
Coke.
Houston. Nah,
I'm
I
just
Coke.
don't do
playing.
that. I
I'm
don't do the
just
booger
playing.
sugar.
This is a
I mean,
joke. This
can't you
is
just inject it now?
What? I definitely
what?
don't do that.
I didn't
If I gotta, if it gotta be injected into me,
I'm good.
I don't even let the doctor give me shots.
I'm good. For
Oh, you need
real.
to grow up.
Well, Jared, we all can't do heroin. I
Heroin.
can't join you on that train, brother.
I haven't done heroin yet,
Anyway,
but I would try.
so I did 6 months of just like, drinking, and it got like, and it was kind of heavy, but I would say it was no different than how much anybody else drinks. And then, January, I was like, all right, I'm gonna turn over a new leaf. I'm gonna get myself together. Not that I wasn't together, but I'm gonna do better by myself and by my body and my mind. And I think it paid off.
That's good, man.
Posted some pics from the weekend. Posted like, Mark, you look great. Your body looks good. I'm like, somebody did you good. And I was like, yeah, that's what I said.
Who said that?
Go on Instagram and see.
Head on over, Design 13.
You can't.
No, he didn't want his
let me put
Instagram to be online.
You can't see. You can't see because they was DMing me. But yeah.
So I can't even see.
You can't. That's a shame. That's a shame.
So why would you even say that, you liar? You're just a big fat liar. A big light-skinned liar with baby dreads.
No, them things pretty long now.
That's Photoshop. That's a little TikTok filter.
What's a TikTok filter? Where you go to in the earring.
That is just a TikTok filter. So congratulations on your 6-month sobriety binge. I'm glad you feel better.
Thank you.
And eating better.
I do.
And going to therapy and really doing a lot of self-help stuff that all those other podcast guys say to do. So maybe we should be like those other podcast guys.
Oh, whoa. We should become a self-help podcast and talk about relationships all the time.
Yeah, because you did it and you said it worked, right?
I mean, it did help. It did help. It's if you're trying to recover from something, cutting yourself off from like the things that you usually use as a crutch will definitely help you heal faster. And I say heal with air quotes because what is that? Because what that means for me might not be necessarily what that means for you. Because what I wanted is to be, to come out the other side of this and like be a fuckboy again, basically. But I'm in a different headspace, and I'm like, and I can't be that way because I like when I was a fuckboy, I didn't need to have an attachment to folks to like really engage with them. But now it's like if I ain't got no attachment, it's like I don't really care. Like I'll stop a whole conversation and be like, hey, I don't care.
So do you not think that you're a F boy anymore?
I wouldn't let myself a fuck boy, but I'm sure there are those who still would.
Like me. And let me tell you why.
Well, Jerry, I don't really think you're in the playing field to make that.
So you can't be an F boy to your friends?
No.
Really?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Look,
I've never heard it that way.
Alejandro, back me up, Alejandro.
I can't do that one. Anything.
Okay. So let me tell you how DeMarcus has been an F boy to me personally on this podcast, right quick. What happened was, and this is a little behind the scenes action. So what happened was earlier this week, DeMarcus texted us and was like, "Can we reschedule the podcast?" And I was like, "Oh, well, maybe. So why do you need to reschedule?" He said because he has something planned with either Tingy or Hingy or Bumbly. I was like, no, you can't do that. Why would I reschedule the podcast because you want to go out with some girl who we don't even know, who you're not even that serious with? Like, that doesn't even make sense. And then we had these podcasts on the calendar for a month now. And then like you want me to reschedule it this far out. And then another thing why I didn't want to reschedule it, because nobody asked. And then another reason why I didn't want to reschedule it was because Final Fantasy 16 is coming out. And that Final Fantasy 16, all the main Final Fantasies are like my favorite thing. So I don't know if it's gonna be playable Wednesday at midnight or Thursday at midnight. And I gotta be there for whenever it drops. So I was like, no, I'm gonna be busy for the whole rest of the week.
Oh,
So
So that's
you
how you are an
so
F boy
so
to me.
so so what I'm hearing is that it is unreasonable for me to ask to reschedule the podcast for a date, but it's completely reasonable for you to force us to keep a date so you can play video games.
Yes. If we have something on the calendar a month in advance, it's perfectly reasonable for me
comical.
to enforce that that pre-worked out date so that I can play video games. I should have to reschedule my
Comical.
life for some girl I don't even know.
And
Black
so
Geek.
here's the last thing. Here's the last thing I'm gonna say about that. And I don't really care no more. I talked to my therapist about this.
Candace?
Here's the last thing I'm gonna say. This time I compromised. This we not getting paid from this podcast yet. You know what I'm saying? And I would have called out of work. I'll call out of work for a lot of things. So I'll miss this podcast even less. So next time it's just gonna be I ain't coming.
Hey, y'all,
We
comment below. Comment below.
we
Who's right? Who's wrong?
I mean
Comment below.
we
J
had
for
this on the
Jed, D
calendar
for the
for a
Marcus.
month, so
Comment,
It
comment
has been.
below.
But
Who's being
work is on
reasonable?
my
Who's
calendar
being
every day.
unreasonable?
but
Who's
we
being
don't
reasonable?
interfere with your job though.
But I'm saying though, if I'll call out of work on a whim, I'll call out of work the morning of.
Yeah, you talking about? I'm sorry.
Shit, I'll call out of work from the parking lot. I'll drive up there and be like, you know what? I don't even want to go there and drive back home. So
Okay. And then the consequence, I
ain't
mean,
no
there are some
consequence.
I mean,
Ain't
you
no
get a
consequence.
okay, well, every action has a consequence. So I don't know. But
I mean, well, I'll deal with the consequences. That's what being a grown ass man is. You can
true,
do whatever you want, and you just deal with it, whatever come after.
true,
Accountability.
true,
And
true.
this is part of it. Jared on your ass. That's part of it.
Well, that's the reason why DeMarcus is an F boy to even his friends, to
I'll accept
everybody.
that. I'm fine with that
You
because
know how I am.
because because so far 100% of the time I done been here, and I done been here on time,
I mean, except for the
ready to
day you were
go.
5 minutes late.
I'll let the viewers comment on that. But yeah. And
Okay.
I'm working in the background to get these D&D episodes set up and shit. I ain't trying to hear it, Jared.
Wait, I'm doing the next one. Are we gonna talk about the next episode?
We
But
got
you ain't but
other
you ain't talking
candidates.
to the guests to make sure
Yeah,
they ready and their characters ready.
It's just one guess, right?
two.
It's two.
Who we got?
Banana, banana,
Fair and Candace.
Oh,
banana, banana.
okay. But I'm setting up roll 20. I am making sure we got a good storyline. And y'all, we're not gonna have a good storyline. I'm trying to make this real simple and fun for y'all. So we're not about to
Ain't gonna be no story.
yeah, ain't gonna be no story. Like we're not gonna be traveling all over Waterdeep. I'm trying to give y'all a different experience from the Marcuses, even though the Marcuses was fun.
It
I'm trying to give y'all
was.
and I'm really trying to give Loronta a different type of experiences.
And you
So
should.
yeah. But yeah, because I was reading it and reading some stories online, and they weren't really like stories or monsters or experiences that I would like to have. So we're just gonna have it's gonna be a fun day. A very
All right.
fun day. So not a lot of story, but it's gonna be a very fun day. It's gonna be like the story that I DM with your game, DeMarcus.
Is it gonna be exact same story?
No. I mean we're not on the
Oh,
boat.
okay. Okay. I mean, we weren't on the boat. Oh, well, we was on the boat then. Okay.
Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's gonna be
So it's
that
gonna be
story.
exactly the same, except for we're not gonna be on the boat.
No, it's gonna be like that one. But I split y'all up, and I'm not gonna split y'all up. So yeah, I've been getting monsters together, make sure the CRs were right, and everything. So make sure that y'all send me y'all's character sheets very soon so I can really have these
Totally.
answers
You
together.
level 10, Loronta?
Huh? Say it again.
You already moved your character to level 10?
No, I didn't, but I can. I definitely can. I can hop on
So
that
you can
before
do
we.
it, or do you need me to do it for you? Because we can do it after the show.
Um,
I think you should. I think you should show him how to do it. Let him do it himself. Just be
I
there
think
as
yeah,
a
because we
coach if he
walked
needs.
through. Yeah, we walked through to get to 5, and I got to sit down and read a little bit more.
Yeah, you got to make
Because
sure
like
you know the
just like
spells.
right, because there was some spells that I had last game that I didn't find out until the last 2 hours. I'm like, yo, if I would have used this first round, we could have finessed. So I just want to do a little bit of read. So yeah, I will. So if today's Tuesday, I think I'll probably call you. What you doing this weekend, Jardo?
Saturday, there's a barbecue, and
Ooh,
Sunday,
getting that meat back across your grill.
no. Well,
Stop
sadly,
it. Stop
no.
it.
But there's an RDO barbecue on Saturday, and
Okay. What about the New Orleans battle? Is it like around that?
I don't know, like this RDO barbecue is in Decatur.
Mm.
Because
Well, it's great.
it's a mass band battle. I want to say, but I guess it's after like around 5:30. CP time.
Who
And I
won?
know.
Who won the last
So
battle? Because I'm
a
hearing
lot
that
of stuff is
Tennessee.
a lot of stuff is opinionated, right? And then so whenever a smaller band does better than expected, it's like, yo, so I'll just say off of song selection, like Tennessee did a little bit better. They did some current stuff, some old stuff, and it's just to me, their song selection, it kept the crowd engaged. But this band shit is all opinionated. It's no real points. But yeah, Memphis. I say Georgia won in terms of this and that. They'll say Memphis won in terms of, but like I said, Memphis played some current shit, like they played that Drake Search and Rescue, that Chris Brown, what's that song? That Robitussin, whatever song. And they just played the songs they played was just a bit more engaging for the crowd. Like even though both bands sounded great, phenomenal. Georgia was loud as hell. Had about 400 folks in the stands. It was loud as fuck. It's just that right there. And then HB Uncut Group, that shit is just ignorant. So they've been going a fool for the past 24 hours. So it was just it was a good time though. I don't really be around a bunch of band stuff. So I was just glad to be in the building. Not as much as because we're coming from every day for 12 years straight to once every couple of months. But yeah, so I could probably level it up one of these days soon. I start another part-time job this week.
Oh, where?
It's a little line cook, just cooking shit. It ain't nothing major. Get some extra.
Congratulations.
Appreciate
We
you, big
need
brother.
to do that.
You want to give an update about your family stuff, or you want to talk about that offline?
You already know that's offline.
Okay.
Do
I ain't
you
gonna
want
talk
to
about that
give
online
a
until after my birthday. I'm not gonna talk about that till like September. Or like on like publicly, if that makes sense.
Got you.
Talk about it, y'all.
Yeah, we gotta get us folks something to look forward to. I feel you.
Yeah. We'll talk.
So do you want to talk about Tindy and Bubbly and Humbly and Mumbly?
You make it sound like I'm just out here messing with like a bunch of women, and that is not the case. But both of my dating situations are going well. Uh, Let me see. I got a date planned Thursday. Going to
To
see
the
that
movies?
Spider-Man finally.
Told you.
Mm-hmm.
Told you.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna have a good time. I'm excited.
How was Transformers?
Man, I still ain't seen it, man.
Man,
I ain't had no time, man. I've been so busy after work and stuff.
I take my daughter to the movies. She went to see Elemental or Element, whatever movie.
Elemental, yeah, Elemental.
So we got there early. Well, we didn't get there early. It's just the lady was being kind of a bitch. She wouldn't let us go because I knew it was like 15 minutes of previews. So sometimes for like I was like, it's gonna be baby previews. We're gonna fucking skip the preview. So we got there early, and she was like, "No, y'all can't look at the 10:30. Y'all can only go to the 11:15." We're like, "All right, fuck it." So we got the 11:15, and we sat in Transformers until Elemental started. But man, like the first, I think we was in there for like 15, 20 minutes. It was a good, like it was starting off really good for a Transformers movie. Like I love Transformers movies, but sometimes they can under deliver. But Like when I say first 20 minutes, it was like, okay, oh shit, hold on. Like I was kind of mad. I was like, yo, I might leave you in Elemental, come back. But no, I went with her to Elemental. And that was a good watch. It's just,
So are we gonna see Flash? Because I'm not.
I'm gonna
ooh,
see it.
Ezra, because of young Ezra.
I'm gonna see it.
Are you excited for Secret Wars?
When is that dropping?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
That
definitely
comes
excited for
out
Secret Wars.
Wednesday, I think. Oh,
Ooh,
tonight.
tomorrow.
Wow.
Tomorrow, to midnight type.
Yeah, well, 4 o'clock.
Mm.
But
Oh, they
Samuel
drop.
L. Jackson returns to guide the scrolls back, or well, the scrolls are imitating people or whatever the
Right.
storyline is.
All
So
right. All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Black Clover, the ending of Black Clover. Have y'all seen that?
The movie?
The movie? Nah. It just came out yesterday, did it?
Last
Saturday, Friday.
Thursday,
Last
Okay.
Thursday, okay.
the 16th, whatever the
Mm.
16th
Yeah, I
was.
done barely had time to watch anime. I did see the finale of Demon Slayer. That shit was good.
Yeah, that was really good. That actually got me started to read reading the manga. And the manga is intense. It's very intense. Like you know how like in Demon Slayer they will go like somebody will try to hit somebody, then whoops, backstory on their whole entire life.
Yeah.
Um yeah, the manga's like that too, but the backstories come in at better moments during the fight. Like it doesn't completely take you out of the
Hmm.
battle. So yeah, Demon Slayer. I am watching, reading that one. So yeah. Oh, have you picked up those comments that I recommended for you, Demarcus?
I'm going tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Uh, is there anything else we need to talk about, or should we start the show?
Mm. I think we can begin. BGE and you deserve to be happy. Professional, licensed, and vetted therapists who you can trust. Tap into a network of licensed, accredited, and experienced therapists who can help you with a range of issues, including depression, anxiety, relationships, trauma, grief, and much more. With our therapists, you can get the same professionalism and quality you would expect from an in-office therapist, but with the ability to communicate when and how you want. All right, head on over to betterhelp.com/BGEpod. Sign up right now. Let them know we sent you.
All right, guys, we are now back. On today's episode, we are going to discuss which one is our favorite. We're going to finally put it to rest. Which one is our ultimate favorite? Is it Star Wars or is it Star Trek? Demarcus, do you have any opening thoughts?
Star Wars and Star Trek, they started around the same time, more or less, right?
I mean, there's like a 10-year.
A 10-year difference. That's what I thought.
Yeah. No, actually, Star Wars, the film, started. The first film came out in 1979, and the
Wait, the
first.
first Star Wars film was in 1979?
No, the first Star Wars film was in 1977. The Star Trek film was in 1979.
Okay,
And
so yeah, around the same time.
Yeah, and the first Star Trek TV series came out in 1966. So yeah, about a 10-year difference.
Oh, yeah, about a 10-year difference. I I never liked Star Trek. Like I didn't like Star Trek until like one of the more recent movies, maybe like 5 or 10 years ago at this point. But like when they revamped the movies all of a sudden, um, I forget who they had playing in them, but that's the only time I saw a Star Trek movie, and I was like, oh, that was pretty good. Like other than that, I used to be like, this Star Trek shit is boring, and like I knew like my aunts and I think my uncle they really like Star Trek, probably because they grew up with it, but I was just like, this is trash. Star Wars all day, man.
Wow.
Just my opinion. But now I actually give Star Trek a little bit of its due. You know what I'm saying? I give it a little. Yeah.
Wow. What about you, Loronta?
Yeah, I don't I'm not really a big, like he said, so I'm not a really big Star Trek guy. But it's just there's so many layers. And so, how some stuff is like just so old, but like they did kind of start remaking it, and I did kind of get in tune with it because, as you get older, your sci-fi, wherewithal and your ability to watch some sci-fi shit, it goes up. So I definitely rock with Star Trek, the newer stuff. But that old shit is it's a little too old for me. Star Wars, y'all know how I feel about Star Wars. I like the original stuff, all this remake and revamp, and let's come back and make some more money. I'm 50-50 on some of them. Some of them I rock with, some of them I'm just like, yo, y'all just
Man, you say you don't fuck with the old stuff, but you fuck with the original Star Wars trilogy, and that's the old shit. So
nah, that's what I'm saying. But when did the original Star Trek drop? That's what I'm saying. Star Trek, like the 60s, like that's where like the first
1966.
that's where the first flip phone came from. Like it was on some Star Trek shit. Like it was like, yo, like that's where it was at. You know what I mean? So, but that old stuff, that 60s, early 60s, late 60s, early 70s, it's like the acting and the way they talk was.
yeah, I mean, but everything back then was like it was all about how they talk, and because they couldn't do a bunch of shit with like effects and whatnot. So it was
Yeah,
everything out was like a talking ass movie or a talking ass show.
it was just their diction and the way they said certain things. I
It's it's
never
just
could.
it's the way they portray it. You know what I'm saying? It's how they
Yeah,
say it.
I couldn't dive into it. I couldn't dive into it.
Because if you watch the original Star Wars trilogy, like them some talking ass movies, and then you watch the second one, it's like a lot more fighting, a lot more lightsabers and shit.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But I like
Well,
them both. I like them both.
well, let's talk about Star Trek from a Black perspective.
Hey.
Oh,
And
I
I,
do want to say, one last thing I did want to mention. The Star Trek animated series that they have out, the Lower Deck, that
mhm,
shit is good.
yeah,
Mm.
That's the best thing Star Trek got going.
I watched that too, but I wouldn't say it's the best thing. Um, but let's talk about Star Trek from a Black perspective. And I
All
really
right.
want to talk about the first ever main character in a sci-fi series, Ahura, which was
Mm-hmm.
portrayed by Nichelle Nichols, who passed away very,
Mm.
very recently.
Recently. Yeah.
So this character was the first ever Black character on TV. That's because Gene Roddenberry, who was the creator of Star Trek, said that, in the future, none of that's going to matter. When you're out talking to other aliens and talking to other species in the universe, all of this stuff with skin color isn't going to matter. So he really wanted to have a unified, diverse ship. So I really think that Star Trek paved the way for a lot of these science fiction and fantasy Black characters and characters of other races, not alien, excuse me, Asian and Native American and other races in the world. But there are a lot of reasons why Star Trek may be deemed better than Star Wars. And let's just first talk about
I'm sorry. There's
how,
what?
huh?
There's what?
Oh, there's a lot of reasons why Star Trek may be better than Star
No, no. I
Wars.
heard what you said, but I don't understand it.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm gonna get
Go
into
ahead.
it. I'm gonna get into it.
Go ahead.
First, let's get into the fact that Star Wars is a utopia. Everybody on Earth is happy. There's no hunger. There's no, well,
Shit.
disease is practically wiped out. There's no homelessness. Everybody
Yeah.
on Earth is happy and thriving, actually. They're thriving so well that they are able to go out to the universe and explore. Now, they might be colonizing these other places, but they are, thriving on their
I
home
mean,
world.
that's what
They want,
humans do. We be colonizing.
yeah,
Mm.
well,
At
not
least.
humans. I'm a human, and my
I
My
ain't never colonized
ancestors,
nothing. Well,
yeah, my ancestors never colonized anything, but um, but yeah, there is a ton of Great Danes on Earth that the Federation is doing, that makes it a utopia. And let's also go into the
but the
starship.
Federation is pretty fucked up though. Like it's a lot of fucked up shit that going on in the Federation. Like they be covering up like accidents and shit. Like folks be dying and they be
I
covering it
mean,
up, and then they be like they real picky with the aliens that they choose to help or whatever. Like some of them they be like, oh yeah, you know y'all look kind of human or y'all really vibe with our kind of culture. And the other like the Klingons, they don't fuck with them just because they're war race. But they
yeah.
that's like saying oh I don't fuck with you because your religion different from mine.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, and that's entirely true. But all I was saying was that on Earth, everybody's happy. Let's talk about the start.
Cause they
The,
exploiting all the aliens, man.
let's talk about the spaceship designs. Every spaceship looks so much better than the stuff in Star Wars. Then like
Yeah,
everything
about
in,
4 designs in Star
yeah,
Wars.
even though there's like
What
two,
the two spaceships in fucking
yes, it looks so much better.
and
And the only
matter of fact, all of them look the same in Star Trek. They're just different sizes.
Yeah, but in the future they have variations on that design. It's still the same base design, but
Mm-mm.
uh yeah, I think that their spaceships are so much better than what's in Star Wars, besides like the Star
I disagree.
Destroyer. Really? You think
I
that the
disagree.
X-Wing looks better than the Enterprise?
I think it's fine because it can like transform and shit. It look different when it land and when it take
It
off.
could go up and down. It could
It
contract
can warp.
and
It can warp. It can
no.
go through hyperspace.
No. I think that the Enterprise and all of those ships are tons are 10 times more better than the stuff in Star Trek. I mean Star Wars. King,
But
I'm
they
gonna mess
all
that
look the
up a lot.
same. They all look the same, and it's just like oh, a California class, or
There
a
there
Texas
is
class, a Georgia class. It's like yo, get creative.
there is a
Who's
lot
doing these
more
designs?
diversity in the ships on Star Wars, but they still don't look
Mm-hmm.
better than the ship on Star Trek, than the ship
Yes,
on
they
Star
do.
Trek. No, they
I
don't.
mean, you do one thing really well, and what you supposed to get a prize? No, get out of here.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Um, also, let's talk about the relatability in the stories on Star Trek. Um, Star Trek has been running on TV for now about 70 years. And the stories
You make
on
it sound
that,
like it's been on TV consistently though, and that ain't the case.
I mean, it's not, it's had some gaps, but
Of
even
course.
now with Star Trek Discovery, which is the best thing that Star Trek has done, with Star Trek Discovery, they have very relatable stories that infuse some real world elements with, those fancy out of the box I mean, not star, but sci-fi elements with it. And I really think that they were more relatable, even in the 90s when they had, you know, Whoopi Goldberg, Jean-Luc Picard, all of those people on the ship, and they were doing things that really people of today would do. Other than Star Wars, which had this one base family and all of their mishaps in the universe. Like I didn't really think that was relatable because everybody on Earth isn't a star wizard. So I don't see how it could be relatable to a lot of people.
I mean, I think Star Wars is relatable. It's aspirational because it's like, yo, anybody can be special. And then, especially in the more recent series and movies and stuff like that, it's like you ain't got to be the same kind of special as this guy. You ain't got to be a Jedi. You ain't got to be, you ain't got to be a stormtrooper. You ain't got to be a clone trooper. You ain't got to be a bounty hunter. You can be whatever you want to be and still be the baddest motherfucker out there and still beat up a Jedi, still beat up a bounty hunter or a Mandalorian or something else. Because like I will agree with you in the original movies, it seems like that's what it's all about. Like the Jedi couldn't be touched. Like can't like once the Jedi show up, it's over.
Oh
They
shit.
in their way. But right, right. You remember how the battle droids you be talking about? Oh shit, it's a Jedi.
Yeah, right. Gun, turn, tech, run.
Yeah. Yo, but now, like in the shit they have now, like shit, they be fucking up them Jedi. If your ass
Well,
ain't trained, ain't no way.
if you're not a
So it's aspirational.
Mandalorian,
Like you can be anything you want. There's so much. I like the variance and the like we said, like the multifacetedness,
but if
the
you're not
variety in
a
Star Wars.
Mandalorian, how are you beating up a Jedi?
It's plenty of folks that done beat up Jedi. Like
Okay,
the blue man with the hat. He a bounty hunter. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Thrawn.
Uh, Thrawn. He was whooping hella Jedi ass. I think he killed a few.
Did he do it or did he order people to do it?
No, he did it. And then the damn clones, shit, Order 66, they killed hella fucking Jedi.
Jump
I
that.
Damn
mean,
near drove them to extinction.
it seems like if you're not in this particular circle of friends, which is the Sith or the Mandalorian or the Jedi, that you really aren't that special. So I don't
Be a
really
rebel.
I
see
disagree.
that.
I
Okay.
disagree. And
You
I
can go
think
be a
you I
rebel.
think I think the only reason you call out those particular groups is because those are like the main groups. The Mandalorian has a show right now, so we see a lot of Mandalorian. Because I feel like before that, you wouldn't have said it.
Yeah, I
So when
wouldn't have.
they
I wouldn't have.
exactly, so when they make a show about stormtroopers, then you'll be like, oh, man, it's cool to be a
I mean, they
stormtrooper.
have a show
The,
about stormtroopers called The
They got
Bad
a
Batch,
couple
and
of them.
I don't.
the Bad Batch, that's clone troopers, not stormtroopers. Distinction that
Okay,
makes a big difference.
okay.
Um,
But aren't the
clone
Bad
troopers,
Batch
clone troopers are clones. Stormtroopers are regular people that just got hired into the army.
okay, aren't the Bad Batch just a clone? Not the Bad Batch, but Stormtroopers is a clone of a Mandalorian, though.
No, he just stole the armor designs. That was one person's decision. Nah, It- a stormtrooper. Think of a stormtrooper like a soldier that you would meet on the street. That's a stormtrooper.
Yeah, he think about the clone of like the original DNA from
Yeah,
was all
yeah. The clones are all clones of. No,
which
he wasn't
one?
even a Mandalorian. He was just like a bounty hunter
Oh,
dude. He
bounty
wasn't a
hunter
Mandalorian.
who had the armor.
Jango Fett. Yeah, Jango Fett.
Oh,
One of them fat boys.
yeah, yeah,
One of them
Jango
fat
Fett.
boys.
So
But yeah,
Jango
he wasn't
Fett
a
wasn't
Mandalorian.
a Mandalorian. He just had
He
that
was not a
armor.
man. He just had Mandalorian armor. Yeah,
Uh,
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah.
I thought he was Mando. That's crazy.
Nah,
uh.
nah. I mean, look it up. Let me not be putting out no misinformation.
Yeah, I just looked it up, and
I'm
you were actually correct. Jango Fett is the father of Boba Fett, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, yeah, but
Ain't no Mando.
still, you're in those three groups: the Mandalorians, the Jedi, and the Sith. I don't.
But we just talked about two big bounty hunters that
But they
killed
have Mandalorian armor.
Jedi and Mandalorians. Your boy Thrawn does not have Mandalorian armor.
But Thrawn was with the Empire.
No, he wasn't. He was a bounty hunter. So he just went where the money was, and it just so happened the Empire
Okay,
gave the money.
we aren't talking about the
And
same
then he,
person, because I'm talking about
oh,
Thrawn, the Empire guy, who the Ahsoka is gonna, the main villain, Ahsoka. Let me just make sure.
I'm talking about. I'm gonna tell you what is his name because I found this picture. Cad Bane. Cad Bane is a bounty hunter.
How do you spell his name?
Cadbane.
Okay. Cat. Let's see what he looks like. Oh, this guy. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
he badass. And then them damn pirates. I can't remember the fucking pirate name either.
but is there
Uh,
anybody in the Star Wars universe who is not connected to a Jedi, a Mandalorian, or the Empire?
What do you mean
Anybody.
connected? Do you mean like affiliated with or have like fought?
I'm talking about like affiliated or far. I'm talking about like, is there anybody I understand the empire rules everything, but can anybody be unique or special without being with the Jedi, the Empire, or the Mandalorians?
We just named two. Cad Bane is special and not affiliated with either of those groups.
But
Um,
he's special because he hunted Jedi though.
Han
not
Solo.
specifically. He ain't. That's not. It wasn't like, oh, specifically a Jedi hunter. He's like, I'm a bounty hunter and I hunt who you pay me to hunt. You keep trying to make him fit in your box.
I'm trying to get
And then
clarification.
Han
Han
Solo, just a
Solo,
regular guy, right?
Han
regular
Solo,
dude, regular.
No powers for real.
Han
He a
Solo
what?
traveled with Luke Skywalker, right? All
A
over the
smuggler. But
universe.
before he got the
But he was
before
he was a big name before that.
he got the, you know
Was
what I'm
he?
saying? Got
Han
Because
Solo.
I was introduced to him through Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, but he has his own. He had his own life. Uh, and then the other guy, goddamn, Childish
Lando.
Gambino played him.
Lando.
Lando Calrissian.
Lando.
Mm-hmm.
My nigga.
Can't tell me
Again,
he ain't special.
I was just introduced to him through the
Han Solo.
who I mean the biggest thing I know about him is that he betrayed them, Han Solo, with Darth Vader. And then he betrayed Darth Vader for
Lando Calrissian did this?
Yeah.
He didn't have a choice though. He didn't have a choice betraying them. And then he did redeem himself.
But
So
my thing
really,
is,
Mhm.
is it possible to be special in the Star Wars universe if you aren't a part of those groups or affiliated with those
We
groups?
keep telling you yes.
And then I keep
and we
saying
keep
that they
naming
are a part
examples.
of those groups. I keep
They're
saying
not.
that they are a part of those
You keep
groups.
saying
it's
they
like
are, but they
moving,
not.
like shifting goalposts. I feel like that's the phrase.
He's moving the damn
I'm
goalpost.
not moving the goalposts.
Keep
I'm
going
just
back to
saying that they
Keep going back to
aren't,
Star
that
Trek, man.
all they do
Let's go to the
is
next topic of this
all
thing.
they
Because
that they are affiliated with those groups. Cad Bane,
they
the
are
best
not.
thing that he did was fight Boba Fett in the show. That's the only thing I know.
What?
That's the only thing I know that he did.
Because you weak on your Star Wars game. That's why that's the only thing you know. Because you weak on the Star Wars game.
So
You know,
inform me. What did he do?
I ain't got his rap sheet in front of me.
Okay. All right, we can move on. I
You
still don't.
know, you want to expect you to do it earlier, but that's not bad.
Wait, you
That's
were
not bad,
breaking up.
Loronta.
You were breaking up.
I said you're the one who has the notes and that does the research, and we expect you to do it fairly, non-biasedly. But that's our bad, right, Loronta?
yep.
I mean, and
We
I
got
am doing
talk
it
about
non-biasedly. Both of y'all said that y'all didn't really know about Star Wars, so I pulled up Star Trek information.
I said I don't really know about Star Trek.
Okay, well, same thing. I keep mixing up the names of everything. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he meant Star Trek though. Yeah, he meant it. But it's okay. Let's continue. Let's continue. So round one. That was round one. So what's
I mean,
this ain't even over.
It's not any round, but let's continue. Star Trek, the people on Star Trek, they have a little bit of everything. So the stories of Star Trek range from historical, westerns, fantasy, science fiction, dramas. They have a little bit of everything when you're dealing with the Star Trek stories. You know, if you go all the way back to the 60s. Recently, not as much variety in the storytelling, but definitely in the 90s, they definitely had some film noir. Am I saying that right? Film noir.
Film noir.
Yeah, film noir
right.
type of things. And they definitely had a range of topics that they discussed and a range of variety of the storytelling that they discussed on that show. Star Wars, on the other hand, you know, I played the Star Wars movie. I mean, not sorry, the Star Wars latest game about the Jedi Cow. And it always reminds me that Star Wars is not for adults. Like there are adult things, there are adult types of things that happen in these things, but there's always that Jar Jar Binks like character that just reminds me that that Star Wars isn't for me. For instance, in this latest game, there's this frog type alien dude, and he's very childish, very, very, just like Jar Jar Binks. And even in these latest movies, there was that I forgot what the robot was called, but there's that robot, and in this Mando series, there's Baby Yoda. So there's a lot of childishness
Comic
in
relief.
Star Wars, but George Lucas has made tons and tons of money off of that childishness. Like Star Wars toys from the 70s still make all those characters millions and millions of dollars today. So I guess if they have their niche to go on with it, but Star Wars just does things where they remind me they aren't for an adults.
I think you're wrong again.
Okay.
Star Wars, just like Star Trek, has shows that are made for all audiences. The movies are made to appeal to all many audiences. But there are. I mean, what's let me look some shit up. Pull up my fucking notes.
But yeah, you can't fault them for having comic relief. That just mean they're a good
And
series.
I'm not faulting them. I'm not faulting them at all. I'm just saying
Yes,
that,
you are.
no, I'm not. I'm just saying that it just always reminds me that it's not for me. Because it always has that childish element in that story.
But I mean, I'm sure it's comic relief in Star Trek.
It's like 80% for you, 20% for like the other folks who aren't there, to keep them engaged and keep them involved.
I think that element is just to sell toys, because he has made millions of dollars selling toys and selling
I'll give you
that merchandise.
Star Trek got toys too. What are you saying?
No, let me finish my statement. And putting that character like Grogu on a t-shirt and selling that toy in stores. Like there is no argument that he has made millions of dollars from his product, from selling his merchandise.
C-3PO,
There's no
R2-D2.
exactly C-3PO, R2-D2. There's no argument that he has made millions of dollars selling merchandise that people who have not even seen Star Wars want to buy. So
I mean, that's popping in. I mean, it just transcends, and that's how you know something's really good, when it transcends what it's doing, and other people don't even really know. They just like the way it looks, so they're not biting, but they're that just shows that something is iconic and transcendent. That's all I heard. But
yeah, and it is, but it reminds me that George Lucas started this thing, and he always.
George Lucas has a black wife and has biracial children. So
okay, I wasn't gonna say anything.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he does.
Listen.
I did not know that. I didn't know George was down with the swirl.
Yeah.
Fun fact, him and Robert De Niro. Fun fact, my friend, a guy I went to high school with, he actually dated one of his daughters, but he was like a cool dude, so he didn't really care about it. I was like, bro, you tripping? I wouldn't not have let that go. If I was dating one of George Lucas's daughters, man, what?
I mean,
come on.
Dating somebody in high school is real hard to spend the rest of your life.
It was grown. We were grown. We was like
24.
25.
I would at least married her. At least married her, so when she divorced me, I would have got some of that money.
Come on, a little chunk of the slice. But I'm sorry, back to the debate. That's the only reason I knew he had multiracial. That's the only reason I knew he had because he showed me a picture. I'm like, that's not George Lucas' daughter. Looked her up. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, he's married to his wife.
How did he meet George Lucas's daughter? I'm stuck on this.
He's a musician, right? And these musicians be in all different types of scenes,
rubbing elbows and whatnot.
He's a drummer, right? So he's a drummer. So he's between here and there, and so. But she was in Atlanta, actually. They live in Atlanta, but they were dating in Atlanta. But I'm sorry, Jared. Back to the topic.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, George Lucas made a lot of money off his product. Yeah, he's made millions of dollars.
Why do people do anything to make money, right?
He made
you keep saying crazy stuff that don't make no sense.
I'm not saying crazy stuff. Let me finish talking. Let me finish talking.
Keep your train of thought, man. Just go.
Okay, stop cutting me off. He made millions of dollars from his merchandise. That's all I'm saying. And he continues to make millions of dollars from his merchandise. That's all I'm saying. So it's very childish to me. And he puts those elements in so that this stuff can be relatable to children. And so that they will buy his merchandise without even seeing these shows.
Star Trek also has merchandise and toys.
Okay.
Whoever created Star Trek, I don't know his name because nobody cares.
George Roddenberry.
Also has made millions from his merchandise. Like it now just sounds like you're mad because Star Trek is not as popular as Star Wars.
Why would I
people
be
buy
mad
more
at
Star
that?
Wars merchandise
Why
than
would I
Star
be
Trek
mad at
merchandise.
Why would I be mad at that?
I don't know, because you petty, Jared. I don't
How
know.
am I petty?
I can't explain you.
How am I petty?
I'm not gonna try.
How am I petty? You say
what's the next
always have the
what's the next thing?
opposing argument, but when I have the opposing argument, I
don't have the opposing.
No,
you keep positioning yourself
against
the
opposing
me.
argument, but when I have the opposing argument,
I never said I have
petty.
the opposing argument.
Yes, you did. You said it on our 10th anniversary special that your contribution to this episode is that you have the opposing argument. So when I have the opposing argument, I'm petty.
Those are not my exact words.
No,
You're misquoting.
It is on Instagram. Let's pull it
Point
up.
of order.
Pull it up. Pull it up because it's clips. So when I have the opposing argument, I'm petty.
No.
Okay,
no.
then.
I said I have
then. So what's the problem?
I said I'm here to sensationalize.
Okay.
And you're petty outside of having the opposing argument.
How?
Loronta, back me up here, brother.
Point of order.
It feels like
you, DeMarcus.
some real selective memory loss.
I'm asking
That's
you.
all.
I'm asking DeMarcus for his opinion.
Matter of fact, something petty.
So
something petty you did today. Something petty you did today when we was talking about off air about me trying to get the episode moved today, and you brought that up on air. That's petty. You wanted an audience for your foolishness.
No, I wanted everybody to know what I was going through. That is how I'm feeling. Final Fantasy 16 is really important to me.
Point of order.
That's not petty. That's how
that's
what I'm going
through. You gotta stay on track.
I hate this man. You gotta stay on track. We gotta stay on track. We gotta.
Point of order.
We only got like 45 minutes. We only got like 30 minutes left.
Point of order.
Let's talk about the not Star Wars, the science fiction versus the fantasy element of these two franchises. Star Wars has a very religious, very culty, like element, and it's not the Empire. When I say culty, it's the Jedi. The Jedi aren't allowed
and the Sith,
but the Jedi aren't allowed to even love anybody else. The Jedi aren't allowed to have those personal attractions, and it's very religious how they worship the Force and how they even say "May the Force be with you." It has that religious undertone to it. Star Trek, I think, is a more better example of a science fiction-y type of show because they actually go out, they actually explain how these things work. And I think that Star Trek tried to do that later by introducing the midichlorians in the series. But Star Trek, I'm trying to keep these two separate. Star Trek.
You're not doing a good job.
I know, I'm not. Star Trek has a much, much, much better science fiction element because they explain how all these works. They visit a lot of worlds, and a lot of these aliens, they go in depth with their culture and their practices. And even with that cartoon show Below Deck, they explain what they are doing to keep that ship running and to make sure that everyone stays alive on the ship. And even when they do outlandish things like when the ship blows up and destroys everybody on the ship, they explain how in the next episode or later on in that episode that they miraculously come back to life. And I really do appreciate that. As a fan of science fiction, I'm understanding how the science works in that world.
I will agree with you that Star Trek is a more sciencey grounded in hard facts kind of show.
Mhm.
But what I like about Star Wars is that it's not that kind of show. That there's a lot of mystery. I would have preferred if they did not bring in the midichlorians into the whole Jedi thing, because I would have preferred to just say like, look, either you chosen and you got the power, or you don't, and it's a mystery how it happens. Like, we don't know how it works. You know what I'm saying? Because there's plenty of stuff. Did y'all know like the old school TVs, like the bullshit in them? Like, people did not know how them joints work. They did not know how they get light to, the light waves or whatever to transfer a picture from one place to another. They just knew it worked. And so
Hey.
they decided to make money off of it.
That's how I am with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this
Like,
box. Is it green? All right, we good.
I think we would live in a much paler world if there was an explanation for everything.
Mm.
And I think Star Wars does a good job of keeping the mystery about itself. Because you don't know everything about the Jedi, and you don't know everything about the Sith or the Bounty Hunters or all these other groups. And that's why a show like The Mandalorian does so well, because it's like, oh, we're getting a look behind the curtain into like how these people are. And what you were saying about the Jedi Sith, or the not the Sith, but the Jedi religion and how they can't love and whatnot. That's not the if you like read the comics and you really do your lore digging, you learn that the way the Jedi sort of order is set up was not. It's like the second order or something like that. There was an original Jedi order that was very different, allowed folks to love, that was less strict and less less like, oh, you got to do everything by the book and stay and walk the path of light. There's an old order that looked at like the dark side and the light side as like two halves of a whole, and was like, you got to learn how to balance the two, because we both got the potential for good and bad. And I think that'd be real interesting whenever they decide to tell that story. Whenever George Lucas decided to tell the story of the original Jedi, because I don't even think it was called Jedi back then.
So they are kind of telling that story. I know they touched on it in this latest video game, Star Wars, and they do kind of tell that story in the Star Wars: The Old Order comic book that they are that is out on shelves now. So they are kind of telling that story of how the old Jedi was and what caused it to split. Yeah, and that's all I got really. So I don't watch a lot of Star Trek. Like I would watch some of the old stuff with Jean-Luc Picard and the old stuff that came on UPN back in the day. But I don't really watch it except for recently I've been really liking Lower Decks, and I've been really liking Star Trek Discovery, which is an amazing show, and I think it just got canceled. But I have consumed more Star Wars stuff, and I think that as a show and as a franchise, even though I enjoy the quality of Star Trek more and the fact that it is more grown, I think that Star Wars, I don't know, just has more for me. I like science fiction. I love the fantasy elements of these sort of things. I have to disagree. Agree with what DeMarcus said about the midichlorians. They didn't need to be in there at all. And all of this new stuff like Boba Fett, The Mandalorian, Andor, and the upcoming Ahsoka series. They are really, really, really scratching my itch for just good fantasy-driven TV show that's the Lord of the Rings did not scratch. So yeah, I think that
The Lord of the Rings or Star Trek?
The Lord of the
Oh,
Rings
the
on
Lord of the Rings
Amazon.
series that came.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Rings of
did.
Power, that shit was ass.
What? Rings of Power wasn't bad, y'all. Don't be so.
It took forever. It took
Don't do like that.
forever.
Don't be like that, man.
We talked about
Don't
this.
do like that.
Next, that's another episode. Oh my god,
Good.
that could be
we
a whole
talked
It
about
other
was
this.
good
episode.
though.
So
Good.
so yeah, I think that Star Wars is doing a good job of keeping the money train going. Of course, as
Mm-hmm.
Loronta would say, they're not giving us horrible stories. I think if they were giving us horrible stories, it would be something different. But the fact that Star
Yeah.
Wars is still giving us good stories, the things like having them on a cruise ship, having them on a shirt every 5 minutes, having them, having that product being placed in front of me, bombarded, it's not even that intrusive on me because I actually do like the series. So yeah, that's my
Mm-hmm.
final word on the Star Wars versus Star Trek series. But I do have to say, I really like that the quality of Star Trek over its 70 years of being on TV and in movies has been much better than the quality of Star Wars.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that point alone, just because in the old Star Wars TV show, you could see the strings that held up the ship.
In the
So you ain't finna
60s,
sit,
yo, they were
you
doing the
ain't
best
finna
they
sit here and
could.
tell me, you ain't finna sit here and tell me that the quality has always been better.
In the
Um,
60s, the Marcus, come on, you got to give them that.
and if you ain't, and and Star Wars always like push the limits. Like they always had the lightsabers and shit, even when that shit was hard to do, and they had to draw every lightsaber in every scene. They was doing that shit. In Star Wars, just had you looking at two people in a built set talking for an hour, and I was like, and yes, I don't know. I think Star Trek is it definitely has some good points. Like as I've gotten older, I've started to actually watch some Star Trek stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is not bad.
Right.
But I think like Jared said, Star Trek has always been the show for like adults because they can sit there and just listen for an hour, 2 hours, and be entertained. Whereas like as a kid, it's like I need somebody to jump or scream or something.
Yeah.
I need something from these folks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Lorenzo, you've been pretty quiet today. What did you learn?
Um, the newer Star Trek stuff. Like, what would y'all call it? Not under the bridge. What was it called?
Lower
Lower
decks.
decks.
Lower Deck. That's under the bridge, right? So I'm actually gonna dive into that because, like I said, like Star Trek isn't bad. It just, as a young kid, your attention span, even though you love sci-fi shit, it's just like, yo, this, like you said, hey, this is too much talking. Get to the bow bow. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna definitely dive into it. Just something else to get into.
Yes,
So that's
lower
And then
decks is really good to have on in the background when you're like doing anything. Like not you don't have to pay attention to it because the episodes do kind of merge to each other, but was lower decks is really good for the background.
if you could just get high and watch Lower Decks, you're gonna really enjoy it, man. You'll be cracking up.
yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely get into it because it came out fairly recently. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind.
It's like 5 seasons in, ain't it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's been out for like 5 years. Came out pretty recently. It's been out for five
No,
years.
it said it came out 2020, so that's not even.
I think it did come out during the pandemic, but
Really?
I think
How they on season
so.
5 already then?
Damn. I
Is it
mean,
season 5 or
dropping them,
season 3? I don't know.
dropping them like that. Yeah, I see season 4 right here. But yeah, they just
Okay.
dropping them like that. But I did like the Star Trek movies. Fun fact, I lost like my virginity in the movies to the Star Trek movie. Because the girl, like I'm a
Hey, yo.
nerd, so I was like, yo, let's go see it. She wasn't trying to see it. It was empty. I mean,
Right.
empty.
Yeah, because
Nobody.
don't nobody watch Star Trek.
Right, right. But my nerd ass at the time, like, well, let's give it a chance. It's a reboot. This is 2010,
hmm
2009. And she
hmm
was her little fast ass.
So she rode you in the
Your
movie
ass was
theater?
going just this fast. Don't even do it like that. You had
Hey,
your foot on the gas too,
I was
Loronta.
cool with kissing. I was cool with hey, this is one of my first girlfriends,
Yeah, but
first
when
whatever.
you found out there was more than that, your ass ain't say, nah, I'm good right here.
We gotta wait for marriage, face ass. Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. Oh yeah, Picard. I tried to watch that. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I watched the first season of that. I couldn't get into Picard either. Okay, we definitely have to talk about Loronta losing his virginity off air. So let's go do that right quick. And when we come back,
Why we can't talk about that on there? That was like 30 years ago.
I mean, can we?
We
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can.
no, we can, but we can't make it a sound bite. I don't want to do
Did you know on the seats?
Yeah, how did you do that? Did she ride you? Did you hit it from the back?
So she had a skirt on.
Because this
Once
at
again,
Magic Johnson Theater, right?
Hey, she had a skirt on.
Okay.
This wasn't at Magic Johnson Theater. This was at where I was at in Conyers. We was
The
in Covington,
AMC
but
at
Conyers was
Subway.
the only theater. It was like
Loronta, go ahead. I'm gonna tell you in a second.
Oh yeah. So like I said, she was wearing skirt, no panties. Once again, fast ass. And we was like, I was watching, I was kind of into it. Like I was like, oh, it's kind of starting off interesting. And she kind of,
she was like, nah, fuck this movie.
Right. So we started kissing. I'm like, cool. She let like the armrest up on the other seat, laid back, because it was empty. I mean, empty theater.
Hey, did you let the armrest up and lay back?
Like on the other one, laid down, brought me closer.
Was it her first time too? She knew. It sounded like she knew what she was doing.
You hear me?
I mean, let's not. Okay.
Answer the question.
We are making this woman sound like she is a whore, so let's stop doing that.
No, she's not. No, not at all. Not at all. She had
just more.
Okay.
And that happens all the time.
That was my first. That was like my first and last time though, just because like I just never. First of all, never. I don't know. I can wait till I get home. We could do it before. I don't know. I'm not a public exhibitionist like that for real. Because if we get caught, we going to jail, or at least on the section of the registry.
But
you're not going to jail.
No, I didn't finish. Because my thing is when I have sex with girls, when I have sex with a girl for the first time, I don't come like because it was like 15, 20 minutes, but it's like, and I don't know. I was in my head. I was like, oh wow, we here. This is it. Okay.
You were enjoying it. You were having a good time.
I was enjoying it, but yeah, I didn't come.
Loronta, I find this story hilarious because I also lost my virginity in a movie theater. And mine was Magic Johnson movie theater.
By Greenbrier.
By Greenbrier, my brother. By Greenbrier.
Hey, what movie was it?
Wild Aragon.
Oh, Aragon, the dragon.
With the dragon. Yes, sir.
She wasn't trying to watch that shit. I like that movie.
I mean,
I read those books.
I think no. It was I think I was leading the way on that one. I think I was leading the way.
So you said you read the books?
Yeah, I read.
No. I was leading the way, as in like.
You
I wasn't like I was trying to watch the movie, but like if I missed a few parts, I wasn't gonna be mad.
So did you finish?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Wow. And was the theater empty?
And no, it was a few folks in our theater. Like it wasn't nobody behind us, but it was like maybe like 4 or 5 other people like scattered in front of us.
Mm-hmm. So did she lift the seat and lay down too?
No. I pulled in my lap.
Ooh. Ride it like a rodeo.
Well, she
was also more experienced.
This isn't that podcast.
I'm sorry.
You made it that podcast.
All right.
You want to start asking these questions?
No,
Closing
I said
remarks
off air. I said off air.
Oh, this is off air.
You asked about off air.
This is on there.
But let's do the questions. Let's take a break. Let's take a quick break and then let's get to the questions.
No sound bites.
And don't ask us about that one, y'all.
No sound bites.
I don't care about the sound bites. I don't care about the sound bites. This is 25 years ago, man. Nobody care about no more.
3, 2, 1. All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. I know y'all are excited for your favorite part questions, but guess what? We're gonna do something a little bit different for our Star Trek versus Star Wars.
A bit different.
Oh no.
A little bit different, gentlemen. Hope y'all are ready. Hope y'all are ready. What we're gonna have is another round of trivia. Bum, bum, bum.
These easy
Trivia.
behind
So what we have, I have a slew of questions. Some are easy, some are medium, a slew.
I missed that word.
Some are easy, some are medium. Some are easy, some are medium, some are hard. Some are easy, some are medium, or some are hard. So we'll start off pretty light. This is a Star Wars question.
Okay. Wait. Tell us the rules. Like, can we just blurt out the answer, or is like a hand raise or anything?
Yeah, I don't think it's competition. I just think we're trying to see if we know shit.
Okay, because once again, like
us collectively know things.
Some of these are like easy as hell. Like one y'all actually said during the goddamn conversation, so I'm gonna take it off. But
no, leave it in.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. It was like a little, you know, a little underhand pitch, you know, a little easy, knock it out apart. But all right, how many forms of communication is CP3L fluent in?
Oh, he's fluent in all forms of communication. I don't know the exact number. It's like all forms of communication. It's like 90 or something like that. No, it's like or 9,000. No, it's like a million or so.
A little bit more.
He's fluent in all forms and all dialects of communication.
Okay,
but no, I don't know the exact number.
Well, it's not an exact number. It's just over 6 million. So
yeah,
I mean, I'll give it to you. All forms. You said all forms, so I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I said
all right. All right, let's skip on over to Star Trek side of things. Who is the engineer aboard the USS Enterprise E?
The engineer, beam me up, Scully, beam me up.
Scotty,
yeah.
Not that one, Enterprise E.
Oh. They all work on one ship. They all work on one ship. It's a trick question. They all work on one ship.
It's different ships.
No, it's only one ship in Star Wars, in Star Trek.
Different Star Trek.
No, they are
different. I said that earlier on the episode. I thought this was the one you was taking out. There's only one ship in Star Trek.
Okay. Back to the Star Wars side.
Wait. Who was it?
What was the answer?
Geordi LaForge.
I did not know that. Nope.
It's okay. All right, let's get back to the Star Wars side of things. Who killed Mace Windu?
Mace Windu? It was that white guy.
Jack.
That white guy pushed him out the window.
Oh, Count Dooku?
Yeah, Count Dooku.
Was it Count Dooku?
What's his Sith name?
Oh shit. Darth Sidious?
There you go. Okay. There you go.
That was a tough one, y'all. That was a tough one. They hardly ever say Count Dooku's his name.
Nah, and I do not know names, so but I know what they look like. I know what they look. I don't know names though.
All right.
What? Okay, that's the wait. Before we go on, what's the head senator man that was evil the whole time? What was his Sith name?
The head senator?
I thought he was Darth Sidious.
Emperor Palpatine.
Emperor Palpatine, but what's his Sith name?
I think it's Emperor Palpatine, right?
No, his Sith name is not Emperor Palpatine.
Hold on.
That's what everybody call him, the Emperor.
Well,
we might have got that one right by accident.
Yeah, Dooku didn't kill him. Palpatine did.
Oh
yeah. Palpatine. Yeah, we got that one right by accident.
I thought it was that skinnier white guy, not the bigger white guy. Anyways,
it was Darth Sidious. That makes more sense because I wasn't sure about Count Dooku because I was about to say Mace Windu will run his ass.
So Darth Sidious is Emperor Palpatine's Sith name.
Yep. I need a Mace Windu series. That's what I need.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
You need a what?
Mace Windu. All right, a Mace Windu series.
Isn't there a Mace Windu comic book?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. I think they released one like right when Marvel bought them.
Damn.
Count Dooku's Sith name is Darth Tyrannus.
That's kind of weak.
Yeah. Or Darth Tyrannus, maybe. But either way. Go ahead. What's the next question?
All right, back to the Star Trek side. Who is the Vulcan first officer aboard the ship? Easy peasy. Live long and prosper.
Spock.
There we go.
I had said Spock before, so I was scared to say it again.
You know one name. You can't keep saying that, motherfucker. I know. Trust me. All right. Back to the. Damn, I ain't got no more Star Wars questions. My other question,
shit.
like I said, I had easy ones on Star Wars side, and I was gonna fuck y'all with Star Trek. So the other Star Wars question was, you already answered this, y'all knew it. But who was Boba Fett's father?
Oh, yeah, Django.
Yep. So y'all knocked that one out when y'all said that.
Django.
The funny thing about the character or the actor that played not Boba Fett, but Jar Jar Binks, and you didn't mention Jar Jar Binks, but I heard Jar Jar Binks in my head. He was actually on this Star Wars like show that was like the Hidden Temple that used to be on Nickelodeon, and he was playing a Jedi, and then in this latest Mandalorian series, his character from that Star Wars Hidden Temple show saved Grogu in the Mandalorian. So yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I like how they brought that back.
Yeah, and he got a lot of flack for his voice as Jar Jar Binks. So yeah.
So are you saying the voice actor or the actual character Jar Jar Binks?
No, the actual character Jar Jar Binks. The actual actor who played Jar Jar Binks became another actor in the Star Wars franchise who became canon in the Mandalorian series.
That's okay. I was about to say I didn't see Jar Jar, but you're saying the voice actor. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Okay, gems. Jared with the gems.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to the Star Trek side of things. Easy peasy. Let's knock this one out. Captain Kirk's full name was James T. Kirk. What does the T stand for? Easy peasy. James T. Kirk.
Tiberius.
There we go.
Oh, I was about to say Thomas.
No.
Thomas. No, it was something. It's got to be. It was something, I know it's something more. It was more. It had more oomph than Thomas.
Yeah. Tiberius is a pretty good middle name, though.
Yeah, Tiberius. I'm gonna name my kid middle name Tiberius.
Really?
Blank Tiberius Butler. Tiberius Butler does. Give me a first name.
No, I actually really like that, Tiberius Butler. Would you take your wife's
That would
name?
not be one. Nah.
Or your girlfriend? Could you let your son, if you weren't married, have your girlfriend's last name?
I'm sorry, what?
If you weren't married and you had a son or a daughter, could they have your girlfriend's last name? Or your baby mama?
Nah.
Hyphenate.
When I was younger, I was actually really flexible on this kind of thing. Yeah, because I was dating a girl and she was like, oh, it's only me and my brother probably ain't gonna never have kids. So if I don't have kids, then my family line dies. And I was like, that's a weird stance for a woman.
That sounds like a man. That's what it was be on.
But let's not define gender roles. That's not what the show's about.
Yeah, not at all.
So, but yeah, she was like, I was like, well, and I think part of it is that I wasn't planning. I wasn't thinking about having kids with this woman. So I was like, oh yeah, we can flip a coin. Like every kid we have, we just flip a coin. Heads they get my last name, tails they get your last name. I was like, I'm not tripping.
Y'all didn't want to hyphenate?
I don't like hyphenated names. They're just too long and obnoxious.
Yeah. You don't want a long last name. They become so like when you're filling out a whole bunch of forms.
So much trouble.
They become I hate filling out my last name. But why did your views change on that?
I think that's not the question. What's the next question, Loronta?
That actually was the last one.
Yeah, that's the last question.
Okay. In that case, why did my views change? I don't know. Because I wanna ensure my family line, I guess. Not that my family line is not insured, but yeah, I want to have like children and the whole family deal, and I want my children to have my last name. I also want my, my wife, girlfriend to have my last name. I want us to be one family.
Hell yeah.
And I wanted to look like one family when we started the paperwork. And not like we just picked up some strange woman on the way to the courthouse.
And Loronta, all your daughters have your last name?
My youngest is actually hyphenated. So her mom was on the stance. My kid, like, she wanted us all to have the same last name. That didn't work out. And so we hyphenated it. And she has a pretty good last name, so our names kind of go together. So I didn't trip about it.
What's your youngest daughter's last name?
Prince Madison. So it's hyphenated.
Okay, I like that. I like that. It's long, but
that ain't bad though. Prince Madison. That's kind of royalty type shit. So that's why I was like, her name, like her, because her last name is Prince. So I'm like, that's not a bad. It's not a bad like. But if it was like Johnson Madison or Williams Madison, come on now.
Yo, that sounds like a slave owner.
Because my nephews' names are like that. I love them niggas to death. They got like four. Like the oldest has four last names, if that makes sense, or four. He has four names, but all of them are last name. Like his first name is Harrison, middle name Fitzgerald, and then his last name is Madison Williams. So Harrison Fitzgerald, Madison Williams. That prestigious ass name.
Well, Madison, Butler, and McCullough all sound like slave owners. Have been all up in through our family. So
I don't know about. They might have owned mine, but I don't think I got no white in me. My sister did the ancestry. We ain't got that much.
Okay.
I used her results because we got the same mom and dad. Even though some genetics some go through on, every child gets, a different, makeup, I guess. But like, hey, we got the same mom and daddy, shawty. I'm gonna just use your results like they mine.
I can do that.
That ain't how they work, and you know it.
Yeah.
That's like Jared trying to use us for our therapy.
No. Oh yeah, I did say y'all tell me what the therapist says to you. Yeah. Well, I mean,
oh no,
if y'all were my real friends, y'all would do that for me, right?
No,
but it ain't gonna help you because it ain't for you. These ain't your results. These ain't your traumas.
We got the same mama and daddy, man. Same DNA.
Y'all could just tell me what y'all therapist says, or I could go to betterhelp.com/BGEpod and I could find out for myself. You're right. I could talk with my traumas myself. And as I'm going on betterhelp.com/BGEpod, I can also go at the bottom of this podcast link and I can leave a comment and leave a rating for this podcast and make it, so that other people can find us more easier. Thank you to everybody who left comments on our podcast so far. We really appreciate it. Maybe we should start reading out some of those podcasts. And you can follow us on Instagram.com and TikTok.com/BGEpod. Black Geek Energy, excuse me.
Black Geek Energy.
And on Twitter.com, which is /BGE_pod. And you can email us at blackgeekenergy@gmail.com. Let them know that you can email us with all your questions, your comments, or concerns about this podcast. Okay, guys, you got anything else to say? Anything else for the listeners? Next episode, oh my God, next episode is our Dungeons and Dragons episode. So we kind of touched on it earlier.
I'm hyped.
Please, I think I want to make it so that each character can pick either one rare magical item or two normal magical items. So tell Fair and Candace that they can pick two normal or one rare, and Loronta, you can have that as well. DeMarcus, you can have that as well. But I'm gonna need your character sheets very, very, very soon. DeMarcus, what are you playing as?
That's what I was just about to ask.
I'm going to be I'm not sure what the race is. It's gonna be something like a Goliath, maybe a orc, with like a half giant or something like that. But they're gonna be a fighter, but they gonna multi-class in bar, and that's all I'm gonna say for right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep it. You know.
And I give you one more teaser. It's gonna be the Order School of Bard.
Okay.
So he ain't gonna be playing instruments and singing songs.
Well, he gotta play an instrument for his magic. Or are you not gonna use
Order
magic
School,
at all?
they can use their voice.
That's what I was gonna say. Can he just sing it? He can just sing.
Oh well, he can't.
Yeah, I mean, like singing also counts.
Yeah,
Singing also counts. But the Order School of Bard is like they do like they could be like a poet or they could be like a like just like a motivational speaker or whatever.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting.
But are you gonna keep the same character, Loronta? You gonna switch up?
Man. I'm in love with him. I'm sorry. I'm in love. Not one day. Probably the next time I might change. I might change. But it's just for what I want to do. This guy right here, he's good magic. I love magic. He's an elf, so he, intellect's there, charisma's there. So I'm stuck with him. Not forever. I'm gonna create another character soon. But
until Jared killed him.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna give you all the tools you have to stay alive, but I am gonna try to kill your characters. So
that's all right.
That's all right. Yeah. So join us next time for our special second part of our Dungeons and Dragons experience. And yeah, BGE. Oh wait. Y'all want to say it?
Oh, no, you got it. Go ahead. You already there?
Okay. BGE out.
Out.
All right, let's take a break to check in on our geeks. How are y'all doing? How are y'all feeling? How's your heart? How's your mind? Now, y'all have asked us about mental health before and what our feelings are on mental health, and I say that your mental health is just as important as your physical health, your spiritual health, and your financial health, your fiscal health. And therapy, a lot of times, is a bridge to those other things. So our sponsor, BetterHelp, is here to help us with that and help you with that. And I know a lot of y'all don't believe in therapy. Y'all ain't got time for it. Can't nobody tell you how you feel. But that's not what BetterHelp is here to do. What BetterHelp does is that they have licensed professionals that help you understand why you're feeling the way you do and are able to walk you through those feelings and help you get to a better place or just to reassure you of where you already are. I'm in therapy myself, and I can tell you that it's working for me. So, why not give it a try? You can go to betterhelp.com/BGE pod. That's beta gamma epsilon pod for 10% off and get started with BetterHelp today.
No, so I really can't make that a soundbite because that was really funny.
I mean, you can. I'm just not gonna share it.
Because she follow you. She follow you and she don't know.
My little 13-year-old daughter follow me on Instagram. I'm not.
Share it on your close friends.
That's why I be. All right, now I'll do that one. I will put it in the close friends. So you go ahead, soundbite it. I'll put it in the close friends.
I'm gonna share it because the daughter follow me too.
Nigga, do she?
Nah, she don't.
The hell you doing? Follow? I wouldn't be mad. But so let me go to my notes app. Put the
Take a break.
Question.
TikTok.
Oh, I thought we was already on break.
Oh no, I thought I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how Jared cut it up.
We are on break.
Okay, I thought some of that conversation was back on air. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of
Excuse, sorry about
weird.
that, y'all.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when y'all say and we'll be coming right back, and then the conversation continues. I just cut it off when you say and we're coming right back, and I just let
Yeah,
like
okay,
the
okay,
music
okay.
fade in and we fade out.
Okay. Because I don't know, because sometimes after we say we go on a break, the conversation get good again. And I'll be wanting and I'll be hoping like some of that makes it in there. But it's all good.
Well, we'll see what happens.